Imagine celebrating your 987th birthday, watching entire civilizations rise and disappear, seeing everyone you once loved become only memories, and knowing that you could still live for another 100 years. It sounds like a dream. But what if living for 1,000 years became reality? Would humanity enter a golden age of knowledge and progress? Or would immortality become our greatest curse? Tonight, we explore one of the most fascinating possibilities imaginable. What if humans lived for 1,000 years? For most of human history, aging has been unavoidable. Every generation lived knowing that time was limited. But what if that suddenly changed? The morning sunlight enters your room just like it has for centuries. You slowly open your eyes and realize something unbelievable. You are still alive, still healthy, still human. Around you, generations of your family gather to celebrate. And suddenly, a strange thought crosses your mind. How many people in history have ever lived long enough to witness 10 centuries of life? For most people, a lifetime is measured in decades. But for you, centuries have become memories. The passing of time no longer feels the same. Entire generations have come and gone. Yet somehow you remain. You still remember your first day of school. You remember places that no longer exist. You remember events that today's history books describe as ancient. Things that happened hundreds of years ago still live inside your memory. And that raises a question so extraordinary that it almost sounds impossible. What if humans could naturally live for 1,000 years? What would happen to our world? And more importantly, what would happen to humanity itself? Today, aging is part of life. Every cell inside our body slowly accumulates damage. Over time, our organs weaken. Our bodies grow old. And eventually, nature takes its course. For thousands of years, this has been the rule that every human has lived by. Throughout history, death has shaped civilizations. Empires rose and fell. Generations replaced one another. New ideas emerged because old generations eventually disappeared. This cycle has always defined human society. But imagine a scientific breakthrough unlike anything humanity has ever seen. A discovery capable of repairing damaged cells forever. Suddenly, aging itself begins to disappear. Humanity achieves something once thought impossible. People stop growing old. A person who is 500 years old still looks young and healthy. Doctors can no longer measure life in decades. Humanity has entered a completely new era. For the first time in history, humans have escaped one of nature's oldest laws. Death from aging no longer exists. And with that single change, everything about civilization begins to transform. One person could now witness entire chapters of history. Kingdoms would rise. Nations would disappear. Technology would evolve beyond imagination. Yet through all of it, they would still be there, watching humanity change before their eyes. Imagine a surgeon with 600 years of experience. A doctor who has performed millions of operations. Someone who has spent centuries perfecting every skill. Mistakes that once took generations to fix could now be remembered and avoided by a single person. Scientists would benefit even more. Instead of passing knowledge from one generation to the next, the same brilliant minds could continue their work for centuries. Problems that once seemed impossible might finally be solved. Artists, musicians, and writers would have hundreds of years to perfect their craft. Masterpieces could take decades to complete. Human creativity might reach levels never seen before. Education itself would completely change. People would no longer rush to choose one career for life. Learning would become a lifelong journey. A person could spend 100 years studying medicine and another 100 years studying the stars. One lifetime would no longer mean one identity. Someone could become a doctor, then an engineer, then an explorer, and later a scientist. A single human life could contain many different lives. Families would become larger than anything we know today. Great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and even ancestors from centuries ago could still be alive. Family gatherings would look completely different from anything humanity has ever experienced. At first, the world would celebrate this achievement. Diseases caused by aging would disappear. People would have more time to spend with loved ones. Humanity would enter an age filled with hope and optimism. But slowly, another problem would begin to emerge. People continue to be born. Yet far fewer people die. Year after year, the population keeps growing. And eventually, the pressure begins to build. Cities become crowded. Housing becomes scarce. Resources become harder to manage. Traffic increases. Food demand rises. For the first time, humanity starts feeling the weight of its own success. Governments around the world face questions they have never faced before. In a world where people rarely die, how do you create space for future generations? And what happens when Earth itself begins to run out of room? As centuries pass, family trees become unbelievably complex. Some people could have living ancestors who are 800 years older than them. Entire bloodlines would exist together at the same time. Humanity would witness family structures unlike anything in history. But another consequence would slowly appear. Wealth would no longer disappear with time. Money, businesses, and resources could continue growing for centuries. A single individual might become richer than entire nations. For younger generations, life could become increasingly difficult. Opportunities that once opened naturally might now remain occupied for hundreds of years. Finding success could become harder than ever before. Political power could also change dramatically. Leaders might remain in control for centuries. Powerful organizations could become almost impossible to replace. Progress itself could begin to slow down. Yet even in a world without aging, tragedy would still exist. Accidents would still happen. Natural disasters would still occur. Wars could still take lives. Humanity may have defeated aging, but it would never defeat loss. After living for hundreds of years, memories themselves could become a burden. The human brain was never designed to carry centuries of experiences. Some memories would fade. Others would remain forever. Imagine opening an old photo album. Looking at faces you knew hundreds of years ago. Friends who are gone. Families that no longer exist. Entire chapters of your life becoming memories from another age. Eventually, humanity would realize something unavoidable. Earth alone could no longer support endless generations. For the first time in history, expanding into space would become a necessity. The moon could become humanity's second home. Massive cities might rise across its surface. Gigantic space habitats could orbit our planet. Artificial worlds, capable of supporting millions of people, might become the next step in human civilization. Humanity would no longer belong to just one world. Long journeys through space would no longer seem impossible. A mission that once required multiple generations could now be completed by the same crew that started it. For the first time, humanity could truly begin exploring the stars. Distant planets could become new homes for our species. Entire civilizations might rise on worlds that today exist only inside our imagination. Humanity would slowly spread across the galaxy, carrying the story of Earth with it. But even after conquering space, one question would still remain. If life lasts for 1,000 years, would every moment still feel special? Or would endless time slowly change the way we value life itself? Part of what gives life meaning is its limits. We treasure moments because we know they cannot last forever. Birthdays matter because time is precious. Memories matter because they eventually become history. But with centuries ahead of you, urgency might begin to disappear. Dreams could be delayed. Ambitions could be postponed. Because tomorrow would always seem available. And sometimes, endless time can become its own kind of prison. Yet humanity could also achieve things beyond imagination. Technologies we cannot even dream of today. Discoveries that could transform civilization forever. A species once trapped on a single planet could become a civilization among the stars. And despite all of those achievements, Earth would still remain our birthplace. The world where humanity first learned to walk. The world where every story began. No matter how far we travel, Earth would always be home. But controlling life itself would force humanity to face its greatest question. Are we truly wise enough to possess such power? Because changing one law of nature rarely changes only one thing. It changes everything. Living for 1,000 years would transform far more than our lifespan. It would change our societies, our emotions, our relationships, and perhaps even our definition of what it means to be human. And maybe that is the greatest mystery of all. Because if humans could survive for 1,000 years, then one terrifying possibility still remains. What if death disappeared completely? What if humans became truly immortal?